Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips tutorials brought to you by Adobe Photoshop Elements Custom Tutorials Group. And let's jump right in with today's poster. Want us to know how to fix this kid's braces. Basically wanted to take the braces out and make the teeth a little bit wider. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the mouth out and then make a copy of it and put it in the background and then fix the teeth separately. So let's go ahead and start by using the polygon lasso tool, and I'm going to come down here to the tools and make sure that it is just a lasso. It doesn't have to be perfect because this is going to end up behind. So we'll just kind of cut out the lips like this and let go. I can right click and choose layer via copy. If I turn off the background, you'll see I got myself a copy right there. So let's take that copy and drag it behind our foreground. I'm going to turn that copy off and turn the foreground back on and choose that foreground. And now let's get rid of the teeth area in the foreground copy using an eraser. So we'll take the eraser, and that's a little bit too big. Let's come down here, a soft brush, and choose something like 15 points and carefully paint out anything beyond the lips and includes the teeth. And just make sure that you don't cut off the lips at all. And once we got that cut out, I'll make this a little bit bigger and soften those edges with like a 30 point and just go boom. And the same thing over here, boom and boom. Now we can take the polygon lasso tool and draw a circle around the whole area of the teeth we want to get rid of, right? Like that, let go. You'll see the marching ants, hit delete, and there it's gone. Where did the teeth go? They're behind now. See, I can toggle this and see right through it. So that's what we're creating here is a hole with the teeth in the background. So now we can turn off the foreground and let's go ahead and work with just the background, teeth. And what I'm going to do is I'll right click up here and make a duplicate. So now that we're on this, what we're going to do is zoom in really close, and with the smudge brush, we're going to smudge out as much of the braces as we can. I'm going to use something like a small 15 point, and basically we want to follow the teeth along their natural path. So like this one here can come up, and guess what? We're going to go beyond the tooth into the lips. I'm going to bring this one up to here like this. And because this tooth goes in front of that tooth, I can just mush this like that with a smudge brush and bring that up like that. See that? We're just smudging it all out and going a little bit beyond the edge of the lips. And just do this to all the teeth until you're done. Once we have the top row done, what I'm going to do is separate the top row from the bottom row by cutting them out. So with the eraser, now I'm going to cut out everything on the bottom area. And I'll make this a small 10-point soft eraser and carefully cut this out. And once we have that cut out, now we can take the polygon. This time we'll use the polygon lasso tool and carefully use a series of straight lines with the left mouse button. You go click, 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 and we're just basically going to cut out the bottom half of the teeth and lips because we can work on those separately and it won't affect what we've done to the top end. And I'll just bring this lasso polygon tool all the way over here where I started, double click, and that gives us the marching ants. And if I zoom out, you'll see the marching ants here. I'll hit delete. That takes out the whole bottom half. So now we can turn the bottom half on once again from our extra copy. Now we're going to work on the bottom half with the smudge tool. Let's zoom in. This is going to be a little harder because it's really, really tiny, barely showing those teeth. So maybe I'll make the brush, the soft brush, a 10 point and carefully smudge out beyond the teeth like this, beyond the lips, I mean. And once we have everything else painted out, let's figure out how to get rid of these braces here. What I'll do is grab the polygon tool and make it a lasso tool and cut out a piece of tooth from right here like this. And hopefully that will cover this area here. So if I right click and hit copy, I'm going to drag that little piece over here to cover that brace. I can make it a little bit thinner so it looks like there's teeth edges. And we kind of like that. It'll work. Let's do it again by holding the Alt button. If I drag it over, it'll make me a new one. Or I can come up here and right click and hit duplicate. Hit OK and just drag that new one over to here. Once again, the other alternative way to make a copy to put over here is to hold the Alt button and left mouse click on this and drag it over. See, it just made a duplicate. Now we'll bring that over to here. I'm going to take those layers, this one, and this one, and merge it down to the bottom layer. How do I do that? I'll click on the top layer, click on that bottom layer, holding the shift. That chooses all 4 layers. I can right click and come down here to merge layers, and that turns the whole bottom half into one layer. Now all we got to do is color everything. Now we can brighten the teeth to your heart's desires. Let's go ahead and take that top half, come over here to enhance, adjust lighting, brightness, contrast, and watch what happens. We take the contrast down or up. Let's bring it down a little to soften them up, and then take the brightness either down or up and make them nice and bright. Obviously, you don't want it to look fake, so we're just going to bring it up a little bit like this. I'll exaggerate it a little bit. So here's the before, after, before, after. That looks great. Do the same thing with the bottom layer, which is this layer. We'll come over here to enhance, lighting, adjust lighting, brightness, contrast. And once again, with the contrast, see if we make the contrast low and bring the brightness up a little bit, it brightens the whole thing. We don't want it to look fake. That looks fake. So you just want it to be just a little bit brighter because the bottom row is always going to be a little bit darker than the top row. So here's the before, after. We can zoom out to look at the whole photo. Once again, here's the original with the braces. Everything's darker. Now we turn that off and see without the braces, and it's nice and bright. Well, that's it for this tutorial. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. And this is Rich calling it quits, saying over and out.